Hello everyone! It is the same gang who's been here all day inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Craig, Tom, Rhina, Steve, and Fiasco. What are we standing out front of, guys?
Smuggler's Ride, the Millennium Falcon attraction.
I've already experienced it 4 times. I already said I would just be the engineer, so I'm giving them all a good position.
Cool. Yeah, he is.
You're welcome. But yeah, it's their first time riding. I've already done it, like I said, 4 times. So we're gonna go ahead, head on.
How many times?
4.
4 times, okay.
4 times, yeah. So this will be lucky number 5. Still have not been the gunner though.
You said none of us can be the weak link, right?
No.
Oh, now there's pressure.
No.
If any of us are the weak link, then I'll be ashamed.
Yeah, don't be the weak link in this. So we're gonna go ahead, pop in the line. It says it's 30. I think it might be a little less than that, but super pumped. Cannot wait to get their reaction from it. So let's go.
You're good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Hello, my friends. I am Ohnaka, and this is Ohnaka Transport Solutions. Today, I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy. Pilots to navigate, engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipments. And that is where you come in. The Millennium Falcon, on loan for some very fast and very profitable expeditions. Chewbacca, my fine furry friend! Yes, as we agreed, you let us use the ship, we'll get you the supplies you need. It's a win-win. You help the resistance, and I get all the profits. What? The First Order will never know we were there. Okay, time to go, so, bye-bye. We better go before he changes his mind. Move along, my friends.
Solutions Hondo is looking for 3 things. He's looking for pilots, gunners, and engineers. More information can be found here on your credentials, but in the meantime, remember that you are going to be the flight crew with the brown credentials. As you receive your brown credential, head on in and welcome aboard the Millennium Falcon.
Thank you.
Time is credits, friends. These shipments aren't going to send themselves.
Por favor, permanezcan sentados y cuide a los niños. Gracias.
Flight engineer, repair test. Hit your flashing buttons. You'd better be faster when we get into real trouble. Right, pilot? Push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left. Move your stick to fly right and left. I was just about to say that. Pilot on the right. Pull back on the stick to fly up. And push forward to fly down. Weapons are online. Oh no! Left pilot, make the jump to light speed. There is the train. Come. Yes, yes, keep shooting. They've locked onto us. Take evasive action.
You're gonna go down.
Ah, there it is. After that train. Flight engineers, fire the harpoon. Excellent. Now, gunners, shoot the cargo free. Left pilot, brakes. Well, my friends, that could have been much worse. Okay, it's much worse. Yes, you got one. Excellent, my friends. Now power up the ship. Well, I grab the coaxium. You see, just as I promised, my friend. Now that the resistance has what they need, maybe I did something for Hondo. Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car. Get behind the train. Flight engineers, fire the harpoons and reel us in. Gunners, shoot the train. The cargo's bringing, keep shooting. Good job, my friends. Yes, yes, yes. We got the coaxium. I will grab it. You keep after the train. Gunship. Oh, that's ridiculous. Things are getting too hot. We've got to get out of here. Yes, a distraction. Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry. It's coming down. Yes, pilot. Hit the boosters. Boost, boost, boost. Look, we did not die. Let's get out of here. Pilot us in remote. You retrieve 2 containers of coaxium. This would greatly help the resistance. You have heard the first order and made Chewie proud. Now, after my modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is, hey, not bad. Wait, my friends. I'm afraid we have picked up payment is on the way. Trust me. Off stand.
Unfortunately, we're no longer in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We're no longer on the planet Batuu, at the Black Spire outpost. We are just beyond one of the exits, the exit closest to Fantasyland. But we still have to talk about our experience on Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. It's important. It's the only attraction open right now. I shared my entire experience on it in a article that I wrote a couple days ago. So hopefully you already read it, or you heard me talk about it just briefly on my first vlog I did with a tour through there and spoke about it. Just to recap it briefly. I love the ride. I think it's great for what it is. It is not a marquee attraction. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's awesome for what it is. But if your team isn't that good, it can ruin the entire experience for you. I thought our team was actually good this time. It was the best team I had been a part of. Any of the times I wrote it, you don't care about what I thought because, again, I already shared it. So let's talk about the guys who wrote it for the very first time. Who is starting?
Well, as the pilot, I feel like I should start. Co-pilot. Yes, you can't have anyone better at your side than I would say Chewbacca, but the height leads me to believe he's an Ewok. So I'm just kidding. I would, you know.
Shots fired.
No, I was definitely the Chewie and he was the Han in this scenario. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought the queue is fun. It's the part when you get into, like, you're walking up the, you know, the hallways from, like, the movies into that Millennium Falcon area where they have the hollow chest. And, well, we walked into that area and they called us immediately. Like, it was like we had to race in to try and get a picture behind that table. So that might be a challenge later. But overall, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was weird because you do have, like, buttons to press and, you know, you do have to work together because I was the guiding it left to right pilot. Tom, you were the up and down. And so, like, if you're in that with, like, a stranger, it's kind of hard to be like, hey, stranger, you're terrible. Or, you know, just like pull up, you know, whatever. So, because like we said or in the other video, you can't pick who you're going to be. But I had a lot of fun. You're going to ask me about motion sickness because I always get motion sickness and everything. I did get a little bit of motion sickness on this. I took Dramamine ahead of time, but I could definitely feel it a little bit. But that could be part of looking up and looking down, and as I get used to it more, it'll get a little better. But overall, I did love it. I thought it was great. I liked it. Right when I thought, oh, this is where they'll end it, there was like a little bit more to it, so it was even a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. But I just think it's so cool. Try and go through even if you're not going to do the piloting part. Get at least through up to that part of the attraction.
So I was a gunner, and you're a gunner, I thought like your buttons might be right in front of you and you'd be looking forward, but no, they're like to the left and to the right side of the wall. I will say though, I think I did pretty well, and like Rhino just mentioned, the whole deal with motion sickness, I get motion sickness bad, and I get motion sickness to the point where there's like a huge handful of attractions I just won't get on. This did not bother me at all, and I think a huge part of that might have been the fact that I was a gunner. So like, I'm looking at the side of the wall like every time we're like in combat, and I'm pressing my missile and I'm pressing my fire. So like, I'm not actually looking at like the rapid movement of the screen, and it didn't bother me at all. And the ride itself is a lot of fun, and I will also say I feel like I performed pretty well as a gunner.
I was also a gunner. I agree. You kind of are looking over to the side. You're not getting to kind of enjoy the screen in front of you. That being said, it's still really, really fun and it looks exactly like the cockpit that you see in the movies, except for there's just more chairs. But I'm super competitive with like anything like this. So I'm like pressing it so hard that my like fingers are hurting. So I wish they could like do this ride in two different versions, like one where you're trying to like just get a high score like how it is, and then like one where you can just like go in and kind of enjoy the ride, because those would be totally two different experiences. This, if you want to take it serious, is like super intense. You know, my hand was hurting at the end. Yeah, I really liked it. I think just from what we know of Rise of the Resistance, I think I'm going to like that one more, but you know, who knows, maybe it's not going to be as good, but I just have the impression and the feeling that it will be better than this. Not that this wasn't amazing, but yeah, it was fun.
I want to talk a little bit about what Rhino was saying about how we didn't have a lot of time in that waiting area. I felt rushed from then until the attraction, until the ride started. It's like we got called, we were in there, buckle your seatbelt, and it started. There was no time to process that you're in the Millennium Falcon. I mean, it's like press that button and you're gone. You're going. It was a little overwhelming. I mean, I was a pilot as well, controlling the up and down. I think it only crashed once. Twice, I don't know. Anyway, it was just a lot. But there was just so much going on in the screen trying to control that. I don't think I was controlling everything. I think some of it was just done. I wish there was more explanation at the end about what the points system was. What it just like popped on the screen. You had this many points, and thank you for playing. Get out. Still, it was a fun attraction, interactive, immersive. You're gonna want to definitely check it out. And I think we waited, 40 minutes maybe?
Probably
which wasn't
40.
bad. Yeah, 40 minutes.
It was posted at 30.
It was posted at 30, but it took a little longer than that, which isn't bad for an e-ticket attraction on opening day. So, there you go.
so that's about it. The only other thing I'll say is, as we mentioned, we had Tom and Rhino as the pilots, 2 gunners standing right behind me. I was one of the engineers. We had another single rider and this engineer. And
He was awful.
no, actually, we both had 100%. So if you don't, I don't know about the gunners. I still haven't done it yet. But the engineers have little panels beside them that shows what their percentage is in it, because
Pilots do too.
yeah, okay, yeah, the pilots do too. And so you kind of, the key is, like, with the engineer at least, is that you have your big main button that you need to push, but then anytime something goes wrong, you have to fix it. All these other buttons will light up green, and you have to do it fast, or you start taking damage and you lose points. And I'm pretty sure the gunners have them too, but they're so busy hitting just the gun button that they don't see the other ones light up. And
And if you want to enjoy any time to look at what's actually happening, then you get distracted. I'm sure I missed at some point.
yeah.
So what I noticed was that we have, like, sorry Ron, I know you're about to do something, but the gunners had like a how many ships you blew up, like, score. So
Yeah.
like on there it was like I blew up 10 ships or whatever.
I will say, with all that, what Craig's saying, and all that was happening, this ride has an amazing re-ride ability with it. That not only can you be looking out at the window, you can be the different positions, but it moves even beyond that about, perfecting your score, trying to make sure you've done everything correctly, working with the team and everything. So I'm very impressed by that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's not perfect. There's definitely some things that they could do to improve it overall. But you know what? I think it's better than what I expected for sure. So we want to know if you got a chance to ride it, what you thought about it. I'm like getting so tired here. I apologize. We want to know what you thought if you got the chance to ride it. We want to know if you're excited to ride it. We want to know anything you have to say. So leave that in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe, do all that other good stuff we tell you randomly. Probably should every time. Sometimes don't. That's fine. So that's going to do it for this one from just outside of Black Spire Outpost. We'll see you again.
Oh.